All right, guys, welcome to one of my first tutorials for 22. This is going to be how to set up your buildings for the Placeable color mod that ThundR has released out there, and going to kind of show you how I set up the buildings to work with it. So it may not be exactly proper, but this is how I do all my buildings, and this is how ThundR wrote the script for it. So if you want your stuff to match, maybe there's other ways, but this is the way I do it. So I'm going to show you here. So we got my bale storage shed here. And yes, I am in 2.79 still. So this might be different for you in a different blender. I'm just so used to this blender. I can do stuff super quick, and I just haven't made the switch. So you guys will be on your own to find some of the stuff that I will have here in your other blenders, as I don't use the other ones, so I don't know. So anyway, I think I got 4 colors set up, and you have an 8 possible colors. So you can basically use color scale 0 to 7. So color scale 0, here's your UV grid here. When you UV map, to the left is color scale 0, and then it goes all the way up to 7. So 0 to 7, right? So that's 8. So that's all the colors you can have. So right now, excuse me, I've got all my main tin here. If I go in here and I have it on color scale 1. So this is 1. So basically, that's kind of how the color scales are going to work. Also, for you need to be using building shader to be using the color scales. So how I do it and how I understand it is I have UV map 1. You need 2 UV maps. 2 UV maps. So I come down here and make another one. And right now I don't want any light dusting on these walls because they're just a wall. So I just put the UV map 2 in the same spot. I'm pretty sure I could just leave it in the UV map down here in color scale 0 and it would do nothing. So basically the color is going to go off of your first UV map. Now, don't quote me on this. For practice, I always move my UV map 2 in the same spot that my UV map 1 is. Now, if you're doing the roof, I will show you the difference and what it does by leaving it over in the main grid. So, all right, we got our wall set on color scale 1. Next, we're going to go here, the roof, and UV map, select whole thing here. UV map 1 is color scale 0. So the roof, as you can see, is color scale 0. UV map 2, most of it will be over here. The little bit that you want, that little white dusting of snow, you need to move over in this grid. Anything in this grid will get that little white dusting. And I'm not talking about the snow that falls on the roof. If you look at stuff that has like the little white coating on it before it gets to snowfall, that's what you want over in this grid. So basically, any trim, eaves, troughs, downspouts, I do a little bit on. Some people really go all out. I kind of only do a little bit. And yeah, and definitely the top part of your roof. Now, you don't want the bottom part of your roof. That's what this stuff is over here. So that's color scale 0. And we're going to go in here and we have eaves, troughs, color scale 1, 2, and 3. So normally, like I'll come in here and you can move it up. I'll always start it here and then count up. So that's going to be color scale 0, 1, and that's going to be 2. Now, the only other one I think I have here is the trim, and it's 4, or 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's 3. So that's basically how I set stuff up. UV map it, move it over. You're using all these different channels here. So that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's basically what you're going to do. That's your color scales. That's about as high as you can go. Or like I said, 0 to 7, which is 8. And you can't forget this UV map too. Now, like I said, the roof you want the snow on, the rest you do not. But it has to have this UV map too in order to use building shader. So that is the blender part. We will continue on to the GE part, and then we'll show you it in game. All right, here we are in GE. So you'll export your stuff out, and this will be where you bring it into GE. So now, basically, you set your stuff up like you would in your regular transform groups and stuff. So the main tin, here we go. You put on your spec map, your normal map, blah, blah, blah. Now, what I normally do to get the colors so they match is this albedo color, because I don't have an albedo map in here. I don't have a diffuse map. That's just how I do my stuff. So I will always do the albedo color 111, and it's important to make this all 1, because when you go down to the building shader later, and you change the colors in there, your colors will be slightly off if you don't have this all set up as 111. So the albedo color needs to be 111 up here. And I know some people have a diffuse. I don't usually use diffuses. I just use a spec map, normal map. So like I said, this you need to make sure this is all 1. Now we're going to come down here. And you're going to come pick your shader. And of course, you're going to go over to building shader, which is what we have here. Then basically what I could do for here, since I do have a height map, you could do color scale and custom parallax. That is if you have a height map, and I can show you what to do with that as well, or just color scale. I'm not sure why I had this color scale, because I do have a height map. But you can do color scale, custom parallax, or color scale, either or, but I would recommend doing color scale and then the parallax. So now the walls, we were on color scale 1. So you come down here and here's your colors. Now I just put this as 1 as well. So I just white. So everything's just going to be white. That's what's going to come out with when you first go to place it. It doesn't matter what colors you do, but I'd recommend just setting this stuff all to 111, and then setting this all to 111 as well. And then all your colors and all your buildings will match depending what you put in the XML. So, and like vice versa, when you put the roof in here, it's color scale 0, so you would change the color here, and then your other parts would be here, and so forth and so forth. It just keeps going down. Now, if you have a height map, that's where you come down to here, this custom texture 4. And this is a Giants height map. Or it's just, yeah, default height. This is where you'd put in your custom height map. So for my tin, I have a height map, and then generally you do not want to leave the bump. Then once you put your height map in, you come up to your bump depth, and this controls kind of how 3D or how protruded it comes out. And I usually put it at 0.1 because 1 makes it distorted and not look good. And now maybe I haven't done the height map properly. Maybe it would be better if it was at 1 with it, but for anyway, I find out 0.1 works good for me, so you'll have to play around with that. So that's kind of the GE aspect of the stuff. And also the XML, we'll go into the XML here. Bring this over. So now, basically what you're going to want to do is most buildings might have a colorable section. You can just get rid of that completely, and you want to put in this placeable colors here. So placeable colors, and it will come down. I only have to here, so I only have 0, 1, 2, and 3 for color scale. So here's all the colors. Giants at the bottom. Legacy has some in here. Smebby and myself have some in here, and so these are all the colors that I run. You can really put in whatever you want, but I've kind of covered most of the regular basis. I didn't want to put in like orange or silly colors like that. I mean, people might want to, but you won't see that on my stuff. So here's where you can add your colors in. And then this is where you have to have your nodes. So whatever your like roof is called in GE, this is where the index needs to be for the node. Also, make sure you put it down in your i3D mappings as well. It needs to be down here as well. This is a good habit to get into and do your i3D mapping. That's pretty much it. So if you wanted your roof and your main tin to change the same color, you'd put your main tin up here in the roof tin, but we want them to be separate, so they need to be like that. And also, if you like, this is your shared colors. If you want, say, the roof tin to be only 4 colors and not be the shared stuff, then you need to put your colors down in here. And then there was also I forget. You have to look at ThundR's XML stuff. He has it in there where you'd like so it wouldn't use the shared stuff. That's how you set it in the XML. The XML is super easy to set up, super easy. And I guess we'll go see the game next. All right, here we are in the game. Brand new save. We'll come down to our buildings here, and we're gonna go to our storage. It's actually in here. Because, yeah, I did make it a bale storage now with the new giant storage that's out there. So, it comes in the game all white. I mean, like, you probably do whatever you want, but I just recommend setting everything to white. It just works better. And we'll open up our F1 menu, change color, you see there, N and M, and change color selection is left shift N and M. I thought it was left shift plus N and M, but it's left shift M goes up and left shift N goes back down. So we're on color, change color section 1. So that's the roof. And we can do whatever color we want. Then we're going to go hit left shift M. We're going to color section 2, which is the walls. So choose whatever color you want. Then we're going to go left shift M again. 3. And it's going to do the eaves. See they're changing there. Random color. And then left shift M again to the last color selection. So we only have 4 on this one. But like I said, you can have up to 8. And that is the max. I wouldn't think anybody else would need more than that, but you never know. Options is always good. There is your building with all the different colors. And now with the new mod that ThundR's put out, the update. Actually, I don't have... You know what? I don't actually have it in here for the video. He has updated the placeable colors, so you can come in here and I can change the color of this building without replacing it. But I have an old version of the color mod in this test folder. So my bad for that in the video. I can't show you that, but you'll see it from other people out there. So, but that is pretty much it. So it's pretty straightforward to set up. Now, basically, hopefully you keep your old blend files because you need to go back in and you need to basically re-UV your stuff to over into the color scale. And I mean, most people have the second UV map already for the light dusting of snow. So, I mean, hopefully that's helped you guys, and we'll see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.